Hey, it's Aaron the Ho from Mobile Reviews, and is the Griffin Survivor all-terrain iPhone 6 case right for you? Well, find out in this review. This is a very affordable iPhone 6 case. It's been available since I think the iPhone was released a couple of weeks ago. It is dust and water resistant, which is pretty awesome. But one of the best things about this case is that Griffin actually went and took into account one of our biggest complaints for the iPhone 5 version of the Survivor and updated it. Namely, there's no stupid camera flap. The Griffin Survivor all-terrain, and I didn't actually think it was called the all-terrain. I always called it the Griffin Survivor, but the Griffin Survivor is actually like the brand for a bunch of tough cases for the iPhones. But this case allows you to access your iPhone 6 quite easily. The buttons are really nice, they're really soft. You can get to your power and your volume buttons quite easily. The screen protector is a bit lacking. It seems like a step backwards when compared to the iPhone 5 version. Even though I am impressed with the camera flap replacement, there's something odd about the photographs that are taken inside this case. Based on our time with the case, we gave it a score of 3.8 A's out of 5. It is much better than the OtterBox Defender, which I would probably think is its primary competitor, and I would choose the Griffin Survivor all-terrain over the OtterBox Defender any day of the week.
Real usage, real reviews. MobileReviews.ca.
And Mobile Reviews, eh? Our reviews are actually based on real usage. I know, it's a novel idea, but this isn't going to be an unbox and then a review video. We actually didn't film the unboxing for this case. We just went and used it at a bunch of places, and we tried to film what we did with the Griffin Survivor. For this case, I've taken it on a bunch of workouts with me. We've dropped it from 6.6 feet, which is the drop height that Griffin says we can drop our iPhone 6 in this case from. I've taken and installed my iPhone 6 in this case so many times that I know that the best way to do it for the screen protector is to snap it from the Touch ID portion first. So just a heads up. One of the things that impresses me the most for Griffin is that they listen to feedback from people who are using their Survivor. I asked a question on our Facebook page saying, you know, what do you guys like about the Survivor or not? And one of the very first things that people came up with, especially James Chung, he asked, did they get rid of the stupid camera flap? And they did. So when I look at the difference between OtterBox and Griffin, OtterBox is the #1 selling case in the US and Canada, but their Defenders hasn't really changed. It's actually worse, I think, for the iPhone 6 than it is for the iPhone 5. But the Survivor, man, they did something awesome here. We're going to take the next few minutes. We're going to highlight some of the best features of this case. If you need a blow-by-blow, we do have a rating table for the Griffin Survivor all-terrain that breaks down all the scores that we've given this case. And so head over to the website if you need more information, and then you'll get there and you'll find out that we take iPhone case reviews a little too seriously. In terms of design, the Griffin Survivor will almost triple the thickness of your iPhone 6. This is not a small case, but on the flip side, the case is fairly light. Installation of the iPhone is simple, as you just pop the device into the cavity and snap the screen protector on. Again, start from the bottom. In terms of build quality, the Griffin Survivor feels solid even after a few drops. We'll also note that the rubbery parts of the case seem to attract lint, as mentioned by Chad Graham on our Facebook page. Lint magnet. The Griffin Survivor is drop rated up to a height of 6.6 feet and is rated to meet mil-spec 810G. From our drop test, we noticed that the flaps covering the ports may come undone during drops. We dropped the case on a corner where the speaker cutout is, and the plastic on the corner is pretty deformed, but with a pair of pliers, you could probably just pull everything back. In terms of water and dust protection or elemental protection, the Griffin Survivor all-terrain isn't waterproof. Griffin has other cases that are waterproof, but this one is not. Though they do have a fancy number on their box, they say that it can withstand a certain % of rain per hour. I'm not quite sure how I would ever be able to test this. The speakers are all covered, so you can use your iPhone in a light rain without really having to worry about water getting through the speaker cutouts. The part with the least amount of water dust protection, in my opinion, and this is me being really picky, is the rubber cover around the lightning port connector. Even with it shut, you can kind of see the iPhone. Again, this version of the Survivor all-terrain isn't as prone to dust and debris because they've gotten rid of one of the flaps. There's one less flap, less debris goes into your case. That's awesome. Now, despite my newfound respect for Griffin as a company, and we're talking about the camera flap, the plastic thing that they use, or the plastic membrane that they use to cover the camera cutout, in my opinion, that diffuses the photographs taken by the iPhone 6. I've got a photo here at the top, one taken with the iPhone 6, similar photo taken without an iPhone. Everything seems a little hazier. Now, this might not be a big deal for you, but since I make videos and I stare at photographs all the time, I see that, and that just kind of drives me batty. In terms of screen viewability, this is where I'm quite disappointed. The screen protector diffuses the Retina HD screen of your iPhone 6, which means it kind of makes it look pixely. So if you're really excited to use that ultra high resolution touchscreen, you might not be able to do so with the Griffin Survivor all-terrain. I say it's a step backwards because we took a look at the screen protector on the Griffin Survivor for the iPhone 5 and it didn't pixelate it. So I don't know, it just seems like a step backwards. With that being said though, if this is the only case that you're using, you're not going to notice a difference. Over time, you're just going to get used to it. So before we get to a quick comparison between the OtterBox Defender and the Griffin Survivor, if this is the first time you're watching one of our videos, I do encourage you to click subscribe. Again, our reviews are based on real usage, so we spend a lot of time making these videos. We put out content 2 to 3 times a week, if not more sometimes. If you do like what we do on this channel, do consider supporting us on Patreon because, well, cases cost money. I try to get cases for free from the manufacturers, but a lot of times they don't send them, and I know how important it is to be able to compare cases, as we're about to do in a couple of seconds here. I think I've spent about $650 on iPhone 6 cases. The iPhone 6 has been out for about a week and a half. Now between these two cases, again, I would go with the Griffin Survivor hands down. It is a little bigger. The OtterBox Defender does have a better belt clip, but this offers better protection for your iPhone 6. Also, it's $10 cheaper, so this is $60, this is $50. Why wouldn't you go with a case that is just better all around? The buttons on the OtterBox Defender are really tough to get to. You don't have that problem with the Griffin Survivor. You've got all these holes and cutouts for dust and debris to damage your iPhone 6. You don't have that problem with the Griffin Survivor All-Terrain. The only good thing that the OtterBox Defender has going for it is that the screen protector doesn't diffuse the Retina HD screen in your iPhone 6, but the gap between the screen protector and the touchscreen is much more noticeable on the OtterBox Defender. So I'm Aaron the Ho. Thank you for watching. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. I say Google+ last because I don't actually know what to do with Google+ anymore, but I have to have Google+ because I have a YouTube channel. I'm not quite sure how that works.